Elijah, bro, good to see you. Thanks for joining me, bro. Good to see you. Hope I bless you today. Let's get it started. All right. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shaquab by Israel. Welcome to my channel where I try to use my life, my time, my energy to try to redeem the time and store up, like it says in the Bible. I believe that the Creator has given me a life, and I believe that the best thing that I could do is try to share it with other brethren. So I want to give thanks to the Creator for giving me this opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Thank you for joining me, my channel. I like to try to use it to try to get brethren to meet with one another, talk to one another, share with one another. Because I don't know about you, but personally, I like to hear from other faithists and talk to them, see what they're learning, what they have to share. I think it's a lot better when different people they talk about the common faith and things that how the Creator is working with them, so that other brethren can be encouraged. But if you want to if you just want to listen to me share, then I'm willing to do that too. I like to try to read from the OAHSPE, and then when I see things that I that have that remind me of things that I have learned personally in my life, I like to try to share on it. Today, I'm going to talk about uh, the title of the video is the Spanish Inquisition, and from the book of ES, chapter 10. And I just found it to be too incredible because the Creator, I mean, what is your standard of truth? I'm just asking anybody. What what do you need to see in order for you to believe something? Do you ever ask yourself that? What is it that the Creator has to do before you'll subscribe to Him? For faithless brethren, to think, oh, let me scroll my screen where I want to share different screens when I'm doing the monologue. And for the time being, I feel inspired to share the commandments. So let me do that. So I think that, when you listen to other brethren share about how they are being dealt with by the Creator in their reality, and then I seem to think that brethren want to learn from each other in this present time. Uh, I think it's interesting the way the uh, the Creator he's got the ability, man, to get to ignite something in you, and it has to be strong enough to where you can overcome the whole world, the opposition of the world for the rest of your life. The anointing that the Creator that it seems like he has to put on you has to be that strong. And I'm just speaking empirically in my reality because I can't explain why I can believe things like this. I just recently learned that something that was real interesting about Vortexian, if I'm saying it right, Vortexian energy, Vortexian. There's a word that it fits better with it. It's has to do with Vortexian energy. You know, the whirlwind that the Creator used to bring about creation. I read something today about it has a vibration on it, Vortexian energy, and it affects people different ways. So I'm finished with the commandments here. It's a good time for me to go to my room so I can try to show you what I'm talking about. And I think I posted something on it that might be pretty interesting to you. Now, here's my room on Facebook. As you can see, I have a ministry there where I like to try to target brethren who may know somebody who's an orphan or disabled or elderly, and they have food insecurities. I'm certainly right or wrong, man, I'm definitely willing to help in that situation. I think that that's the will of the Creator, and I'm just letting you know, like giving you my information here. I can be contacted. Julia Ann Morlock Food Ministry, my contact information. I can certainly be contacted for brethren in that situation. Here's my room, and there are other rooms that I'm fellowshipping now with as well. Here's one. I'm going to remember. I'm going to get back to what I was talking about. Okay, let me see. These two are the same ones. So, or let me bring up another room that I'm now starting to fellowship with. Here's one. Brother Omian's room. So anybody who's learning about OAHSPE, these are places where you can go and have fellowship with. Now there's another room that I don't have. I'll put that up next time so I don't have to start dancing around and messing with the computer. But there's another room too. Brother has another room where if you want to go and have fellowship, then that's super important. I think, get together with brethren. So I'm trying to find a post that I posted about Vortexian energy, and I thought it was interesting, man, because it explains why some people believe, some people don't. Oh, am I sharing my screen? I got a thing that says you're not sharing your screen. Okay, yeah, I think I am. So when you learn about Vortexian energy, then it explains why people, like, a lot of times I'll say things like higher vibration, lower vibration. Oh, here it is right here. And it explains a lot, but then it's still mysterious. For me, I'm the type of brother, I like to try to learn why people act the way they do. And it's still an unexplainable phenomenon because it's such a variety of ways in which people manifest, the way that they are affected by vortexian currents. I mean, it'll remain the the I mean, it just belongs, that information belongs to the creator ultimately. I mean, the exact ways, I mean, you know, it's the same vortexian currents that we are all under, but it manifests in different ways in people. It explains why. I mean, the closest I can get to it is astrology. That's the closest I can that helps me to understand why people act the way they do. And that's the closest that helps me, get the closest to understanding. Vortexian currents. Let me read it. It says Vortexian currents. Vortexian currents. Now, you know what? Before I read this, let me see what the internet has to say in describing Vortexian currents, because I think this is really interesting. It says it describes them as whirlpools in rivers and other bodies of water, tornadoes, ocean waves, surrounded by smaller twisters called rib vortices. Even says smoke rings, boat wakes, dust devils, circular coiling, spiraling type of manifestations of nature, air, water, fire, vortexian light. And so we go back here to the post that I put up. And it says vortexian currents have an influence in human behavior. They influence us. Vortexian currents. It says the document, and the document I think it was referring to was a study I was doing on cosmogony and prophecy. I think that's the document it was talking about. And I found this. And it says that vortexian currents have an influence on human behavior. The document states that the positive and negative vortexia or vortexian currents continually flow through the earth and affect individuals differently. It is mentioned that the individuals can be moved by these currents, and their behavior can be influenced by the positive or negative forces. The document also suggests that the behavior of individuals and nations can be influenced by the vortexian currents, leading to periods of peace, war, virtue, or decline. The specific effects of these currents on human behavior are not explicitly described in detail in the document. That's what everybody really wants to know. But it's kind of like, I mean, that's something really, I think only the creator can really detail it, like, you know, tell you things like, okay, I'm going to charge this vortex on this day at this time for this amount of time with a positive charge. And I'm going to circuit it so that people under this certain vibration, according to their planet, is going to respond on their higher level or lower level. Now, I'm just putting forth a theory, trying to explain the difference and, why people, they act the way they do. Here it says vortexian currents, they have positive and negative energies, and it is received differently by people because we come under this influence. And so it's interesting because here you are, and then let's say you talk to somebody and you two are not on the same vibration. It's because they are interpreting, they are internalizing vortexian, their input according to the vortexian currents is let's put it this way, they're wired differently than you are. If you talk with somebody, you deal with somebody, and then maybe you two don't get along, or maybe you do get along, it's like people say you're on the same vibration as the person that you have, you are positive to. There's some people who they are, what's a good word for, like when you put two opposing forces together, then there's going to be division, it's going to be friction, and it's going to keep people according to their vibration apart. It's like some people, you can feel their vibration in the sense that you don't want to be around them too much. That's because of vortexian currents, to the best of my understanding, vortexian currents. And it makes sense to me because it has to do with matter, motion, energy. And it just glorified the creator, man. It just really, he explaining to us the nature of our reality. I just get such a kick out of it, man, and it helped you to calm down when you're dealing with people, when you realize that you both may not be on the same frequency level. They may be subscribing more to the negative vortexian currents, and you may subscribe more to the positive vortexian currents. But it seems like there are some people you can get in contact with them, and then you're the one that subscribed to negative vortexian currents, and they subscribe to more positive vortexian currents in the sense that how you come across don't really seem to bother them too much. It's you that's got the problem. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I do, I just can't thank the creator enough for letting me come across that information. It could really put you in a lot of peace, man. Some people you just can't figure out. No need even trying. All you can do is just ascribe it to the creator, and that it's a spiritual thing. And best that you can do is not let it degrade, not let it make you go down in your spiritual grade. I read something else too. I don't know if I posted it. It talked about end grades. I posted something on end grades. I think I'm gonna be able to find that. End grades, and I know you brethren, you know about this. Here, let me just see if the creator, if he wants me to bring it out. I'm gonna just scroll down and share some of these verses here, and if I get through it, I do. If not, then so be it. All right, so let me see. Let me see. What should I do? Um, Now, here's the verse that says, on the other end of the scale. Now, this is talking about basically the different resurrections. Different resurrections. Let me see. I got somebody saying something. Hello, everybody. My name is Mikey Dillo. I'm Muslim. I am Muslim and half Jewish American. Those are my religions, but I respect all religions and I will never make fun of yours. I have indeed respect all religions. I'm the peace, I'm the way, I'm the truth, I'm the amazing way of life. I'm the amazing way of water and the amazing way of colors. I'm the righteousness of God of heaven. I'm the light and I shall be the light. I shall be the light of the righteousness of God of heaven. Hallelujah, amen. We pray John seeds. I hope my message was okay. Well, welcome to the room. Welcome to the room. And this is a room where we are brethren. We're a fellowship of brethren who subscribe to the OAHSPE Bible. You might not have heard of it. Maybe you have. And we certainly are not into any type of religion. We, okay, you're autistic. Well, I don't know. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Um, I hope you can understand what I'm saying, and that this is a fellowship of people who come out of religion. We realize that religion is set up to capture the spirits of man so that they may become servants and subjects to the false gods that currently are in the world today. And they do an incredible job. And these are the uh, we are a fellowship of brethren who are able to receive the OAHSPE Bible, and it's very controversial because it exposes the Bible. And so you're welcome to be here, man. If you say you come in peace, and welcome. I hope that something goes out of this room where it causes you to um, learn the difference between religion and spirituality, and who the creator is as opposed to who false gods are. So, and what deity worship is. Deity worship. So again, welcome. I don't know how you found out about the room, but you're welcome to learn with us. And uh, so welcome. So this verse here, I thought it was really, really interesting, man. You just gotta love it. Here the creator, he's talking about the before this. Oh, matter of fact, the next verse that I'm gonna get into, it talks about the Uzians. and this this is talking about the Baptists and their resurrection. And it says, yet on the other end, because I've already covered the Uzian resurrection. So it says, concerning the Baptists, it says, yet on the other end of the scale in Cosmin. Now, Cosmin is the era that we are in right now, for those of you who don't know. It's a time where our reality is going to change. And so we're in the hey, Mikey, one thing I might suggest is it'd probably be better for you to listen. You should listen instead of I appreciate your goodwill if that's what you're all about, but it'd probably be a good thing for you to, for right now, just try to listen. And if you have a question, just ask it. But when you start sharing a whole bunch of stuff, and it's going to be hard for you to follow what's being said. So if you're here and you want to learn about what this subject matter is all about, then why don't you try to just hang out and just listen for a while and stay off of the chat, because you can end up being a distraction, and I will not permit it. So why don't you just chill out for a second, okay? Just chill out, just listen. And if you want to ask questions, then go for it. But don't be a distraction to brethren who are trying to listen. So I appreciate it, because you'll distract me too, because I try to acknowledge the chat and have a back and forth with other faithless brethren. So it's pretty much for them, not for new people who come on and to start talking a lot. No offense, man. I'm just trying to say. All right, now here in this verse right here in this verse, the Creator, he telling us about our resurrection. He says, yet on the other end, because when I get to the next verse, it's talking about the Uzian resurrection. Here it's talking about the resurrection of the Baptists. So it says, yet on the other end of the scale in Cosmin, where we are right now, where we're going to see these things like never before, because Cosmin, it represents an increase in spirituality and knowledge and relationship and the faithless community and miracles and signs. We're in that era right now. It's called the Cosmic era. It says, yet on the other end of the scale, opposite the Uzian resurrection, is what it's saying. On the other end of the scale in Cosmic, we have those atmospherians who are said to be in the practice of the third resurrection, who have risen sufficiently to become brides and bridegrooms of Jehovah. Although eligible to resurrect into Etheria as brides and bridegrooms, thus becoming Etherians, yet they may have to wait until the upcoming Dan or harvest. They may have to wait till the upcoming Dan or harvest, or they might choose to remain in the atmosphere to labor for a season past the harvest. So, you gotta, I didn't mean to ban the guy. Shoot, I meant to put him on timeout. I must have hit the wrong link. I think I banned him and removed his comments. I meant to just put him on timeout and ended up banning him. Shoot. Sorry about that, brother. I wanted him to stay in here, but just not to post so much. But I messed up. Hit the wrong link. So anyway, this verse here is It's talking about there are some brethren who are eligible to go in the harvest as brides and bridegrooms, and they stay in atmospheria and they continue to labor. How do you like that? It says, yet on the other end, on the faithless end of the resurrection in Cosmin, it says we have those atmosphereans, first, second resurrection, who are said to be in the practice of the third resurrection. I have to think that these are brethren who, these are the really proactive brethren who really go for it and share and very active and trying to bear fruit in this reality, who are making the changes and changing their behavior. And I mean, only the Creator can really know. But he says they've risen sufficiently to become, that means above the second resurrection. It says that they have, in other words, they have been able to deal with the influences of the earth. They've pretty much been able to subdue them. The pull of the earth. I mean, those are the brides and bridegrooms. From what I can understand, they really elevated to the point where they can live in the third resurrection. I'll read it again. It says, yeah, on the other end of the scale in Cosmin, we have those atmospherians who are said to be in the practice of the third resurrection, who have risen sufficiently to become brides and bridegrooms of Jehovah. It says, although eligible to resurrect, look, they are eligible. There are some people here right now in atmospheria, or unless it's talking about atmospheria and not mortality, he says, they're laboring and they're ready to become brides and bridegrooms. I mean, these are brethren who they really go for it. They make the Creator. I mean, the Creator is the main focus. And it says, although they are eligible to resurrect into Etheria as brides and bridegrooms, thus becoming Etherians. Yet they may have to wait until the upcoming day or harvest, or they might choose to remain in atmosphere to labor for a season past harvest. The next harvest is 2049. So it's saying there are people who may decide to stay in labor with atmosphereans. How do you like that, man? Talking about faithists. It says they're faithists. They're ready to become brides and bridegrooms right now. Look, they are eligible to resurrect. They are eligible to resurrect. I have to believe that it's talking about mortals who, hi, Jamia. Good to see you, sis. I'm just going through some postings in my room right now. So it says that there are brethren who are eligible to resurrect into Etheria as bride and bridegrooms, thus becoming Etherians. And again, these are brethren who, man, I'm telling you, they're pretty much free. If I'm not mistaken, it's talking about brethren who are, you know, they are really making progress against the tetrarchs, the Hebrew tetrarchs, the negative mindsets. I mean, they bearing fruit, man. You know, once you put down them tetrarchs, you get a hold of them and put them down, and you know you get the upper hand on them. You're set for the third resurrection. When you those vortexian currents that spawn the Hebrew tetrarchs, those negative attitudes, those negative vibrations. From what I can understand, you talking the third resurrection now, and this is saying there are people in our reality. They're already there. You know, that's why I was mentioning yesterday that shooter, the guy who tried to shoot Trump. I really have to. I was really, when I heard that they were giving witness about him. and they were saying that he never said anything bad about anybody. And it was a rebuke to me. For me, that's the way I took it. I was like, man, that's a rebuke to me. To never say the best, highest mark you can do is don't say anything against anybody. Just don't do it, man. You know, that's a high mark, man, that the Creator sets for all of us. Don't do anything at all. Now, I speaking for myself, I'm a fail. I'm a try, but knowing me, I just ain't got no faith in me to keep that standard. But I do know this. I'm a try all my life, all the rest of my life to keep those commandments. I believe that they can be done. So these are brethren, they get an upper hand on them chat racks, man, and they're able to resurrect into Etheria as brides and bridegrooms, thus becoming Etherians. Yet they may have to wait till the upcoming Dan or harvest, or they might choose to remain in Atmosphere to labor for a season past the harvest. That's talking to some of you, brethren. Like the angel's going to say, okay, Elijah, Shemiah, what do you want to do? You want to resurrect? You want to go to the Ethereum realm, or you want to hang out with the Atmospherians? That's what it sounds like it's saying here. Let's go to the next verse. It says, aside from those who are angels who live in isolation. Now, actually, I thought I posted something about the Uzian resurrection. You go to the first resurrection or the second resurrection, and it has to do with where you stand right now in this reality, whether you're a lone wolf or whether you're part of a church and you're active in promoting the doctrine of the beast kingdom. Then that's the resurrection you go to. It's like the Creator, he just give you what you want, He just give it to you. We read a sad account yesterday, man, didn't we? We read a sad account. Yeah, Jamia, thanks. Out, onward, outward, upward. That's the fate of this situation right there. That's our. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Check out Omia. Wow, you're a better man than me, brother. I'm telling you, man, if I'm understanding this correctly and the angel come to me, I probably won't be around, by the time of the harvest anyway, but in Atmospheria, wherever I am, and the angel come to me and he say, okay, Quab, you one of the bridegrooms, and if you want, we can go ahead and elevate you to Etheria. You won't even finish the sentence before my bags are packed. You won't even finish the sentence, man, before my bags are packed. To me, this sounds selfish, but I've had enough of the Hebrew tetracts, man. I hope that maybe he'll change me as I go on, and then I want to just keep hanging out in Atmospheria. I just think I'm unripe fruit. I realize I'm unripe fruit right now, and my goal is to become ripe, just like all of you. All our goal is to become ripe. And I think that spirituality is always going to be about dealing with those trying to lift other people up anyway. So I think, Omi, and what you say, now that I think about it, there's a degree of wisdom in what you're saying. Brother is saying that he would choose to hang out in the Atmosphere helping people. How do you like that? Putting off the third resurrection. You got to commend that sort of brother, man. You got to. We might see some angels appear with spacecraft. I believe that's going to happen. I just read too much, man, in the OAHSPE about, Jehovah. He be talking with his sons and daughters, and he said, take this fire ship, go over there to Hoab and, and take some angels with you and some SNRs and go get, go to that knot over there and and Arabina and untie that knot. And, you know, I certainly believe that's going to happen. Cosmic era, where we're going to start, the Creator's going to start manifesting angel visitations. Heck yeah, I believe that's coming. I expect that any day now. Angel visitations. Yeah, the Dan Hyatt, yeah. The high time of enlightenment. Hey, Omi, and don't forget, man, if you want to come on and share and give a word, I don't mind. I'm basically up here sharing because nobody else wants to right now. It's cool. If you want to hear me go on and on and on, I'm willing. But I bought this software primarily so that other brethren can get used to, you know, we can talk to one another. I just happen to like to be around faithists. I realize about myself. I like to hear them talk. I like to know I'm in their presence. I like to feed off of their vibration. I like knowing that I'm part of that family. I'm on that team. I really get a kick out of that, man. You know, I I it's precious to me to be a faithist. I like to call myself that. To me, that's precious. Man, but I digress though, man. It says, aside from the house, there are angels who live in isolation, having no spiritual association, who wander about and yet are bound to their beast. They're bound to Christianity, they're bound to Hindu, bound to Buddhism, bound to Mohammedanism, just like we were reading the other day. Even though the Creator, He make it known, hey, there's something way better. And it's kind of like the spirits that answer say, basically, we can't. Our mind won't let us. We bound our mind to the beast. Our mind won't let us believe. We only can believe that this current reality is all there is, where we got to slave for this God, where we got to crawl on our belly and we got to recite 1,000 prayers for each step that we take towards the beast false God. We believe that we got to be abused, and that's the best reality for us. We count ourselves lucky. Our mind won't let us believe you. Can you, man? Omi says, I would love to join, but need always to get my wife, kids sleep. Oh, it's cool, brother. Hey, man, first, but by the time they sleep, the show is over. Okay, no, hey, brother, I understand. No thing. I just want to let you and anybody else know you're welcome, to take over the forum and share a word or something. Some of you brethren are probably Suis and Sargises and should be, sharing a word with us. You probably are Suis or Sargis, so meaning that you get angel visitations, or you get a word that the rest of us need to hear. Anyway, let's go to the next verse real quick. It says, and in Cosmin, those angels who enlist and join in the organized heavens of Jehovah are called Ethians for a season, and these Ethians are enrolled in the first resurrection of the organic heavens, also known as the organic first resurrection. So that's the living resurrection. That's the faithless resurrection, where what happens to us who subscribe to the Creator, subscribe to His Word. He's saying that when we do our time, when our time is on the earth, when it's finished, that we go to we are called Essenes, young spirits. And then they put us in first resurrection. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, this is the only way I can understand it. I could be wrong. Maybe some brethren cross over and they go right to the second resurrection. Maybe some brethren, they cross over and they're brides and bridegrooms. I don't know. I'm just trying to go off of what the verse is saying here. I can be wrong, But it seems to say that Essenes, which are young spirits, they get enrolled in the first resurrection of the organic heavens. You go to other brethren like you, Maybe we don't know how to be a unit, be a group. That's the second resurrection. It says these Essenes are enrolled in the first resurrection of the organic heavens, also known as the organic first resurrection. So we start off first resurrection. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I think that there are brethren now who are practicing the second resurrection. I mean, getting together. They're not isolated, trying to build up one another, be with brethren, build them up, realize that we're called to marry each other. You know that? We're called to marry each other. He said, not bridge, Omi says, not bridge, angel, nor bridegroom for sure. I don't know what you mean, brother, when you say that. You say not bridge, angel, nor bridegroom for sure. Oh. Well, I don't know if I get you, bro. Not bridge, angel, nor bridegroom for sure. I don't get you, brother. Gonna have to say it another way. Do you have your cinnamon tea? Oh, man. You put a tiny bit of creamer in there. I'm telling you, you in the third resurrection. And it's good for your blood. And I can testify, man. That stuff, it does. I don't turn my heater on all the time anymore. Well, it could be because because it stays about the same temperature out here where I live. It's really pretty much the same temperature. And my condition, since I'm in a power chair and I can't get up and walk around all the time, when you're stagnant like that, your blood, it doesn't create heat. And I used to turn the heater on all the time. I mean, it would be nice warm day out there and I'd have the heater going full blast. But since I started drinking those herbs and drinking the cinnamon tea has made it even better. I don't turn the heater on anymore, Oh, you slipping, bro. No cinnamon tea tonight? Oh, come on, man. Hey, the earth, man. The earth, man. That's one thing you can't go wrong when you put that in your body. The earth, put the earth in your body. Cinnamon comes out of the ground, a plant, And then check this out. This verse I found. I hadn't seen this before. You know how they got coal mines in Kentucky? They got coal mines in Kentucky. You remember that song? Something about a coal mine, coal miner's daughter, or something like that. Check out where those coal beds come from. Check it out. The creator, he talk about that. Look what he say. He says, there is still another period to all corporeal worlds. Lutz. In the time of Lutz, there falls on a planet condensed, earthy substances such as day, stones, ashes, disseminated molten metals, and so on, in such great quantities that it can be compared to snowstorms piling up corporeal substance on the earth in places to a depth of many feet and drifts up to 100 feet. So that's why they dig in the mountains. They got to go way deep down inside the mountain to get that stuff out. It says Lutz was called Uz by some ancient prophets because it was a time of destruction. If Lutz followed soon after a Samoan period, when portions of the earth were covered with simu and rank vegetation, it charred them, penetrating and covering them up. Most of the coal beds and oil fields in the earth were made this way. So you talking Saudi Arabia, big oil bed, big coal bed. Even off of Gaza, big coal bed there. Creator is saying that he rained this stuff after the vegetation period. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like he's saying he brought the time, growth of the vegetables and the other plants or whatever. Then after that, he brought another period of time called Lutz, a planet of condensed earthly substances such as clay. I said day. Such as clay, stones, ashes, disseminated molten metals. And that's something that's interesting, ain't it? It says, and so on. And he did it in such great quantities compared to snowstorms, piling up corporal substance on the earth in places of depth of many feet. And wow, I think that the false gods must have let their people know, hey, there's something in the earth. It's called coal. You can dig down there and use it to create energy. There's something down there. Go over there to Africa. This is where the diamonds are. Diamonds, falling, there's stardust over here. Go over there to the Congo and down here in Burkina Faso, and there's gold over here, gold over there, gold to Haiti. There's a big mountain in Haiti of gold, And they were given this revelation. And then here it is right here in grades. I think this is what I was talking about earlier. In grades. Check it out, in grades. According to the OAHSPE Bible, it referred to the spiritual condition or grade of an individual's soul at the time of their death. It represents the level of spirituality or spiritual development, virtue, and understanding that a person has attained during their lifetime. Ingrades can also refer to certain spiritual beings or entities associated with the lower realms of existence. These beings are described as less evolved and possessing negative qualities such as selfishness, ignorance, lack of spiritual understanding. They are influenced by negative forces and can promote disharmony and discord. The OAHSPE Bible emphasizes the importance of spiritual growth, aligning oneself with higher spiritual principles, and overcoming the influence of ingrades to cultivate positive values, positive virtues. Let me say this before I forget again. I was just sitting here, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I find that sometimes I get real insistent. There are times when I start demanding. I want to know, I want to be taught, and I feel it in my spirit where it's like I don't know what you call it, but I get real forceful with the Creator and asking him to teach me something. And what I'm doing here is the latest answer to my prayers. Is I'm up until this point, I'm not satisfied with the speed of my learning. And most nights I stay up. I mean, I don't go to bed until like 5 or 6 o'clock, and when in the morning. And so when you spend that much time, you start, getting impatient. If you feel like you're putting in the time and you're trying, then you want to learn something. And so I think what I'm saying is sometimes I get frustrated and I ask the Creator if he could speed things up in my learning. Now, what I'm doing is the latest answer to my prayer, what I believe it is. And I want to share it with you. And let me see, Omi says something. He says, you can't be drafted as a bride and bridegroom angel from the earth unless you practiced it on the earth. But second resurrection can be practiced while on earth. And then you qualify for it in heaven. Oh, okay. He says, you can't be dry. Well, yeah, I think that's what I read. It said that you have to wait until the harvest, and then you may be eligible for bridegroom in the harvest. You can choose to be bride or bridegroom, or you can choose to continue to labor in the atmosphere. I just thought that was really, yeah, yeah, let me share that. That's a good word anyway. Thanks, brother, for sharing that. Thank you. So, what was I saying? Uh, think. Oh, yeah, yeah, thank you. What? So I was making some real insistent prayers, and I was dissatisfied with the speed of my comprehension and learning. And I asked, basically, asked the Creator if He could show me how to speed it up, you know. And I believe that the answer that I got was, I was given the idea: go, go get a, go get a go get a AI program. Go get an AI program and then make files. And because the program I got, it says that it can only handle 120 pages at a time. So I wanted to ask questions about the OAHSPE. So I have to, and this is what I'm doing now. I make files of 120 pages, and thankfully, most chapters of the OAHSPE don't have more than 120 pages. So I'm going book by book, and I'm making files, and then I'm simply uploading them to the AI chat machine. And brother, I just go to town, man. You know, I go to town. I'm gonna wear that AI out, man. I'm gonna wear it out, brother. I ask it all kinds of questions, and some of the information is not good, but it's like 95% of it that I've seen so far is good information. I mean, you can go check it. You can compare it with what you know, what you've heard, what brethren have been teaching, and then you can make a good decision. So let me say it again real quick because it's time for the reading. You can get a now I got Adobe, and what you got to do is make 100. Okay, say like pick a book in OAHSPE. Okay, upload it to your computer, copy and paste it, and upload it to your computer, and then upload it to Adobe or whatever AI you're going to use. And then that's it, brother. You home free. You home free now, brother. Just sit there and just get your cinnamon tea, man, and just ask till your heart is content, man. Ask anything. You're not going to always get the answer, but you'll certainly get enough, man, to bless your soul because it'll basically help in showing you in the OAHSPE the answers that you want, that you are asking for. That's the blessing. See, that's something any brother could do, man. Then you can get on YouTube and you can just start, man. You can knock brethren out, man, sharing this stuff with them. See, so that's my thing right now. A lot of this stuff comes from my efforts to try to learn. You know, I love it, man. I just love it, man. It seemed like the Creator, if you could just, what is the old saying? Whatever the mind can conceive to achieve, it achieves, or something like that. I just believe you can learn, man. Even if you had an aversion to academia all your life, like me, when it's in your heart, when something's in your heart, man, the sky's the limit. I mean, it's a crazy sort of thing what the Creator can do with you, man. I mean, I'm here to tell you, It's time for the reading of the word. So now I have the correct scripture. Okay. I have the correct, yesterday I did the incorrect, I did the wrong book. I have the correct book today. Now the reading of the video is Spanish Inquisition. And as you would have guessed, I clicked off of it. But I know the right book though. This is the right book right here. Yesterday I did it wrong. Let me see. Only says 5 to 6 years I will drink maca and will read OAHSPE. Information will just flow. Yeah. I'm with you, brother. What is maca though? Have you been holding out on me? What's maca now? Maca. What is that? It sounds like some type of plant tea. Anyway, the name of the video is Spanish Inquisition. Spanish Inquisition. I love the way the creator tells us about it, man. He tells us about what the spiritual story is of the Spanish Inquisition. And then he tell you much more than that. Check it out. Watch what happened when I start reading it. May the creator bless the reading of his word. Oh, maca root powder. Maca root powder? What the hell is that? Maca root powder. Maca root powder. Peruvian. What does maca root powder do? God, I can't even see the screen. I gotta close the hold on a second. I gotta close the blinds. Okay, let me see. It says maca root is derived from the maca plant, which is native to the mountains of Peru. Maca root is available as a supplement in powder capsule form. It's thought to benefit per per. It's thought to benefit fertility, sexual desire, and post-menopausal symptoms. Oh, okay. Maca root. Ah, that's interesting, man. The creator, he's got something for this. Fertility, sexual desire, and postmenopausal symptoms. Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating, man. Thanks, brother. Thanks for that word. All right. The name of the video is Spanish Inquisition. May the creator bless the reading of his word. Verse 1, it says, E.S. said, when God saw that Luamon's angels had come upon the earth regions discovered by Colombo, God withdrew. See? Talking about the Western continent. OAHSPE deals with the history of the Western continent. Verse 2, behold, I will use this as a test. See, the gods withdrew. They said, uh-oh. Here come Luamon. Let him have it. Let him have it. Just everybody take a step back. Just let him have it. Behold, I will use this as a testimony to Jehovah and against this false Christ. In time to come, for I will withdraw my angel hosts, give up for a season the central lands of Gautama. That's America. Verse 3, and it shall come to pass that mortals in these lands shall not prosper. Dang, I feel bad for booting that guy. I did not mean to do that, man. And it shall come to pass that mortals in these lands shall not prosper in peace, nor righteousness, nor in learning, nor in science, nor in inventions, nor in anything good under the sun. For Luamon's warrior angels shall obsess them, and they shall build up and then destroy the people of Aliates, which is Mexico, in Mexico. The Yotapans, the Montezumans shall be destroyed, and the Ihuans and their cities shall be ruined. Montezumans, they were the Aztecs, from what I understand. They were the Aztecs. Let me see if I can. Isn't that something? I just accidentally clicked off of what happened here. Oh, okay. Another screen just popped up in front of me. All right. So the Montezumans, they were the Aztec, weren't they? It says in the footnote, the Yotapans being in Mexico clearly refers to the Aztecs, as its last ruler was named Montezuma. Ihuans possibly refers to Incas. How do you like that? The Incas. Verse 4, now it came to pass, as spoken by God, the central lands of Guatemala from sea to sea fell under the dominion of the warrior angels of Luamal, the false Christ, the Spanish conquistadors, Spanish army. And they became warriors and destroyers. Neither did they rise in peace, nor wisdom, nor in anything good under the sun. But they lived as pilferers, debauchees, warriors, murderers, and idolaters of the false Christ. God had said, I will go afterward to the western coast of Europa, and my angel host shall inspire, my angel hosts, they shall inspire, see that negative vortexian, under that negative vortexian energy, Luamong, he inspires his angel hosts. My angel host shall inspire another people to migrate to America, Guatemala, for conscience sake, Jehovah's sake. God said, I will go northward to the western coast of Europe, and my angel host shall inspire another people to migrate to Guatemala for conscience sake, Jehovah's sake. Okay, so actually, this is talking about the pilgrims, right? They didn't want to live under the tyranny of the British crown. Isn't that the story of the pilgrims? So this is talking about the Faitists. Because here it says, God says, I will inspire my angel host, and they shall inspire the pilgrims. I'm translating, who are another people, to migrate to America for conscience sake, right? They didn't want to live in, let me see, I don't want to start dancing, man, going on the internet trying to look. You could do it yourself. Why did the pilgrims leave England, or whatever you want to type in? And it should pop up because something like they wanted to serve God their own way or something like that, you know. That's why it says for conscience sake, he was going to take a group of people and they was going to be convicted. Like, man, I don't want to serve like this. I don't want to serve the creator like this. I'm leaving. Is there somewhere else we can go? Let's go to America. And then it says, and it shall be proved in time to come that those whom I take across the ocean shall inherit Guatemala. And they shall prosper in peace, virtue, wisdom, learning, and inventions. And man, in after time, shall witness the difference between the people of Lumon's possessions as compared with my own in northern regions. So it's saying that the Spanish, they were going to conquer Mexico, and that now I have to be careful how I say this according to what I think. It sounds like the initial people that came over to America, they were inspired. But as they grew, they became evil. Their progeny, you know, the story of how they treated the natives, spreading of smallpox, putting in their blankets. the evil that they started doing, it manifested. And the rest is history, as they say, right? Rest is history. It got to a point where you have America and then you have Mexico. And what it's saying is that, and man, in after time, he's going to witness the difference between the people of Lumon's possessions as compared with mine owned in the northern regions. Now, faithists are over here. And I think a blessing, it came on America because of the faithists, because we're here. And Creator seems to be saying people are going to see, they're going to basically see that Luamon's people, the Spanish, and the looting of Mexico was going to be inferior to the possessions of the northern regions. It's North America. If you can understand what I'm saying. And so God sent his angel hosts among the factions of Western Europa and inspired mortals to rise up, depart out of that country for conscience sake. And those who were inspired of God crossed over the ocean, landed in Guatemala, and they named the place of their landing Plymouth Rock. See? That's the pilgrims, right? Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock. So historical site of the disembarkation of the Mayflower Pilgrims. Well, this is all spiritual. Plymouth Rock. Here's the map. That's where they landed. Plymouth Rock, saying, "For God's sake and for liberty, help us, O our Creator, help us." So it says, a ship called the Mayflower carrying religious pilgrims from England landed in 1620 at Plymouth Rock in America, an area that became part of New England. So right around the time of the beginning of slavery. Plymouth Rock. And then it says, but see, that's another reason why you have immigration, of course, because they want to live a better life. They don't want Luamon's possession. They don't want Luamon's possession. They want a better life. That's why it says, and man after time shall witness the difference between the people of Luamon's possessions, this Mexico, Spanish, as compared with mine own in the northern regions. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it seems to be saying. And then it says in verse 8, but they did not say for Christ's sake, or for the whole of this, so we got to go back up. Let's catch up. It says, and so God sent his angel hosts among the factions of Western Europe and inspired mortals to rise up and depart out of that country for conscience sake. And those who were inspired of God crossed over the ocean, landed in Guatemala, and they named the place of their landing Plymouth Rock, saying, for God's sake, for liberty, help us, O our Creator. But they did not say for Christ's sake and for the sake of the Holy Ghost. How do you like that? So Creator, he's pointing out that they said to the Creator, they said, for God's sake and for liberty, help us, O our Creator. And Creator, He's giving them credit for that. They weren't under deception because it says they did not say for Christ's sake or for the Holy Ghost. And you know what's interesting? You may read a historical narrative on what they did, what they said when they arrived here. How much you want to bet it'll say something like they arrived saying, "Help us, oh Jesus, for your sake and for the sake of the Holy Ghost." You know what I mean? Interject these very words that, because men change things. Verse 9, it says, "Nevertheless, Lou amongst angel warriors had accompanied." Look at this. Nevertheless, it's like they fall under the same affliction that Moses, Abraham, that they fell under. Because see, look here, verse 9. It says, "Nevertheless, Lou amongst angel warriors had accompanied them across the ocean. And when they saw what mortals had done, they departed by means of the mortal ships returning to Europe. For these angels were too low in grade to cross the ocean without the presence of mortals." Wow, let's look at this for a second. Verse 9, it said, "Nevertheless, Lou amongst angels had accompanied them across the ocean." Okay. "And when they saw what mortals had done, they departed by means of the mortal ships, returning to Europa. For these angels were too low in grade to cross the ocean without the presence of mortals." Now, I can't compute that right now. Luamon's angel warriors had accompanied them across the ocean. When they saw, now what was it that mortals had done? They departed by means of the mortal ships. They returned to Europe. So you probably have to go on the internet to find out a little more about what mortals had done. It says, "For these angels were too low in grade to cross the ocean without the presence of mortals." Let's see if the OAHSPE will help us out some more. It says, verse 10, "And when they had come to the other side, they reported to Luamon's angel generals what had been done by mortals in Guatemala. And these angel generals sent a dispatch to Hapsindi, Luamon's heavenly kingdom, to learn his will and pleasure." And I forget what Hapsindi is. I know Omi, he talks about what it is. I think it's an atmospheric region above Egypt. Christianity. So they come to America. They see what mortals had done. They go back. They report to Luamon's angel generals, and they say they want to know what Luamon wants to do about whatever it is that mortals have done in America. And in verse 11, it says, "Luamon stepped backward as follows: lest the country fall into Jovi's hands." Okay, so I think that they were dedicated to serving the Creator. I think that what it's saying that those who arrived, they were dedicated to serving the Creator. The Luamon's angels seen it and said, "Oh, we better tell Luamon. They're gonna try to set it up in righteousness. We better go tell him, find out what he want to do." And so Luamon, he sent back word as follows, saying, "Lest the country fall into Jovi's hands, send a sufficient inspiring host to obsess all mortals who have thus passed to Guatemala. Do not spare them. Possess all. Ruin all in the name of Christ and the Holy Ghost." So he ain't going to have it. He ain't setting up nothing that's going to give credit to the Creator. Verse 12, "And thus it came to pass as regards this false Christ and his affairs with God, namely, the latter had inspired for the sake of Jehovah certain other people in northwestern Europa who were faithless in heart, but not practitioners of rites and ceremonies, who called themselves Quakers, to migrate to Guatemala, to shape the destiny of the inhabitants to peace, virtue, wisdom." And these Quakers were covenanted to Jehovah to never engage in war, nor to quarrel, nor to contend with any man, for opinion's sake. Praise the Creator, man. Isn't that beautiful? Well, Louis, he ain't gonna, you already see, he ain't gonna have none of that. Verse 14, so Louis obsessing angels fell upon the colonies of settlers in Guatemala and obsessed them to flay and to burn and to exterminate the Quakers for Christ's sake, as Mortal said. Now, let's go and look at who was the enemy of the Quakers. Who was the enemy of the Quakers? The Quakers had many enemies throughout history. The church, the Puritans, the Dutch, and the Congress. Okay. It says the Quakers' first enemy was the church and its priests. Okay. The Quakers' first enemy was the church. So Louis sent the church after the Quakers. And then the Puritans. The Puritans in the Massachusetts Bay Colony feared Quakers and persecuted them for heresy, dissent, for being the work of the devil. Quakers who returned to Puritan jurisdictions risked the death penalty, and 4 were executed. The Dutch. When Quakers arrived on Long Island in 1657, the Dutch were outraged by Quaker women proselytizing and fined, jailed, and banished some of them. And the good old Congress in 1777, Congress labeled Quakers who refused to fight in the War of Independence as the most dangerous enemies who America knows. How do you like that, man? Louis, the people of Louis, he sent them. He sent the Congress. He sent the Dutch. He sent the Puritans. He sent the church. Louis, look at that. So Louis' obsessing angels fell upon the colonies of the settlers in Guatemala and obsessed them to flay and to burn and to exterminate Quakers for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. See, the Dutch, the Congress, the church, the Puritans, they were doing this for Christ's sake. See? For Christ's sake. I know, I'm not sharing the tab. For Christ's sake, man. Isn't that something? For Jesus Christ's sake, man. They went about, chasing Faithists all over the place, man, killing them. Just like we read the other day. Chasing Faithists all over the world. And the angels of Louis inspired mortals to lie in wait for any other Faithists who might migrate to Guatemala. God has said, permit these hardships to my people to be recorded. For in Cosman, they shall be testimony of the power of heaven on mortals. So that these things will become historical, God suffered Louis angels to raise up, obsessed one Cotton Mather. I would say that old bastard, but I don't like to curse. Louis angels raised up and obsessed one Cotton Mather, who devoted his time and labor to the establishing of this false God. Cotton Mather. Cotton Mather. Cotton Mather. Cotton Mather. A Puritan clergyman. That means he was Louis man. Look at that. And he was an Aquarius. He ought to know better than that, man. That guy ought to know better than to oppress his brother. Cotton Mather, man. Who devoted his time and labor to establishing this false God. And I think that should be he said. And he said Cotton Mather has not only accomplished these wicked deeds, but he put himself on record as a worshiper of Christ. That which follows were his words. So he wrote these words in September of 1682. He said, "To ye aged and beloved John Higginson, there be now at sea a ship for our friend Esaias Holdcraft of London." He says, "There now be at sea a ship," and it says, "for a friend Esaias Holdcraft of London, did advise me by the last packet that it would sail sometime in August." He said, called ye Welcome. Ship was called Welcome. Our Greenwise was master, which has aboard 100 or more of ye heretics, faithists, and malignants called Quakers, with William Penn, who is a scamp. As ye heard of them, ye General Court has accordingly given secret orders to Master Malachi Huckstead of ye brig Purpose, a ship, to waylay ye said Welcome, the other ship, as ye near the coast of Cod, as may be, and make captains of ye Penn and his ungodly crew, so that the Lord may be glorified, and not mocked on ye soil of this new country with ye heathen worshippers of these people. Much spoil can be made by selling ye whole lot to Barbados, where slaves fetch good prices in rum and sugar. We shall not only do ye Lord great service by punishing you wicked, but shall make gain for his masters and people. Yours in bowels of Christ. Now, I want to do some internet dancing on there, but I think I'll just wait till after the video. I want to see what history has to say about this account where he wrote this letter telling somebody they're sending more faithists, go up against them, take them, sell them. Let's see what the footnote says. In more modern American, this would read as, okay, so the letter is translated to read more easily. It says, "To the venerable and beloved John Higginson, there is now at sea a ship for our local friend Elias Holdcraft of London. Advised me by the last packet that it will sail sometime in August." It said the ship is called the Welcome. It's called Welcome. Our Greenwise is the master, which was aboard 100 or more of the heretics, malignant called Quakers, with W. Penn, who is the scoundrel at the head of the General Court is accordingly given secret orders to Master Malachi Huckstead of the brig ship Purpose to waylay, which means ambush, the Welcome when it passes near the coast of Cape God, and make captives of Penn and his ungodly crew, so that the Lord may be glorified, not mocked on the soil of this new country. With the heathen worshippers of this people, much spoil profit can be made by selling a whole lot to Barbados, whose slaves fetch good prices in rum and sugar. And we shall not only do the Lord great service by punishing the wicked, but shall make gain for his ministers and people. Yours in bowels of Christ, Cotton Mather. Cotton Mather. Such then were the trials of God in establishing Jehovah in Guatemala, and yet the bitterest struggle had not yet begun. Chapter 11. E.S. said, "Hear, O earth, and you heavens of the earth, of the ways of Jehovah through his God in his kingdom. Understand how all things are accomplished for the ultimate triumph of righteousness. So he's talking to us now, telling us this is how you're going to fight. This is how we're going to win. He says, verse 2, now after the inferior angels came to paradise and answered God's prayer for help, God divided his host to minister to all of the earth and its heavens, not for sudden triumph by violent means, but to the end that man would in after years comprehend the wisdom and glory of Jehovah. So it's saying that Jehovah, he ain't going to get back using man's methods, gunpowder and bombing. Creator's saying, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you out to deep water, and then I'm going to drown you. See, I'm going to take you out to deep water, and then I'm going to drown you. Meaning, he's going to do it in a way they don't expect. Verse 3, so it says, so God made 11 divisions of his host, 4 divisions for the earth, and 7 for the heavens of the earth. And as the chiefs of the 4 divisions for the earth, he appointed Ezan, Tan, Ah, Cho, and Lachish to go to Ada, the heavenly kingdoms of the four false gods, to establish a guard from there to the earth. So they're going to run interference now, where the angels of the earth coming to heaven, causing trouble. And God gave each of these are the guys who are going to guard the earth. It says God gave each of them 1 billion hosts to labor with them. And when these were all selected and all come before the throne of God, he said to them, because the 4 false gods have accomplished all the good they can accomplish, and are now only leading mortals and angels down in the darkness, I shall presently cut them and their supplies off from the earth. In that day and hour there will be danger in heaven, war in heaven. Because now, here come the cosmic era and the OAHSPE, and it's going to start cutting off spirits from the beast kingdom. Verse 7 says, for there are more than 300 million spirits in the hidden heavens who were put to untimely deaths in order to establish the false Brahma, the false Buddha, the false Christ, and the false God Gabriel, Muslims. Verse 8, go then to your places, provide yourselves in wisdom and strength, guard well these spirits. Once they congregate for vengeance sake, they will cast their gods in hell. So ultimately, these brethren who are deceived, they're going to turn around, going to cast Lulamon, going to cast Gabriel, going to cast Kabalakdes, going to cast Edisham into hell. Going to cast them into hell. It says, they answered with one voice, Jehovah's will and yours be done. And they saluted and departed. God then called up other 7 holy 11 named Yopes, Leo, Lakar, Batuan, Hordolphus, Eudemus, Zahawi, Zedna, together with their 7 billion hosts. And he said to them, behold, the 11 kingdoms that have been prepared for more than 2,000 years shall now be opened up and established with roadways to the kingdoms of the 4 false gods. For the time is near at hand when I shall cast them out and remove them and their kingdoms away from the earth, away and forever, so that a revolt may be prevented. You shall provide places and vessels for the removal of their juges, of which there are more than 20 billion. Go then to your respective places and be ready for the time of my command. They answered unanimously, Jehovah's will and yours be done. And they saluted and departed also. After this, God appointed 12 of the Etherian gods and goddesses as severing hosts, and he allotted them 6 billion angels to work with them when the time came. To these 12 gods and goddesses, God said, when the time is at hand, behold, you shall take your 6 billion hosts, cut off all the earth supplies from which the 4 false gods and their kingdoms subsist, And that is you, spirits, brethren. Well, maybe I could be wrong. I think that spirits who are under the beast, they provide for the false gods. They provide food, they provide substance, and the Creator is saying, here, when time comes, cut them off. The setup. This is all about the setup of cutting off the four false gods. And then it says, and their kingdom shall fall in anarchy and ruin. Their judges shall be liberated. None shall stop them, and they shall fall upon their gods' kingdoms and despoil them utterly, and cast their false gods into hell, anarchy and torments. Go ye therefore to the places I provided, and my messengers will show you, and make all things ready for the time and signal with my hand. So these 12 gods and goddesses saluted and departed for their labor. 19. Now as yet none but the holy council and the gods and goddesses knew the plans of God, Jehovah's Son, nor the object and labor provided for the hosts, thus sent forth to all parts of the earth, the hidden lowest heavens. So the plan was only known to the gods and goddesses of the holy council. It says, nevertheless, God had commanded the officers to maintain lines of light with his throne in paradise, so that concert of action would be known, manifest all around the earth in the same moment of time. Now, therefore, let it be known that of the fire boats and crews sent by the false gods to paradise, only one, Luamons, returned to tell the tale of chagrin and disappointment in not meeting the Ethereal God. Lita Bakatrava. Luamon, he didn't want to play ball. He wanted America. Didn't want to turn it over. Didn't want to meet with the Creator's God. Now we got to do things the hard way. Verse 22. As for the other three, fitted out so extravagantly with 1,000,000 hosts crowned and adorned in such magnificence, they concluded to go away each into a different heavenly region and establish 3 independent kingdoms of their own. Many of these angel hosts had been promised for hundreds of years that they would have sub-kingdoms with millions of slaves, but had always been put off until they were discouraged. It says, accordingly, they resolved to appropriate their outfits in founding thrones and capitals. So the fireboat sent out by Inquisition returned to his heavenly regions, but not to Inquisition. And that of Cabalactes went to his regions, but not of Cabalactes. But that of Gabriel Thoth returned to his regions, but not to him. And they all proceeded in much the same manner, which was, after finding a place to go about in the fireboat, enticing subjects to come to their places. And it came to pass, before their respective masters were aware of it, they had heavenly kingdoms with hundreds of millions of slaves. So they're getting set up to fight and destroy one another. It says, when these 3 false gods, Inquisition, Cabalactes, Gabriel, God, heard of the proceedings of their treacherous subjects, they each separately declared war against the pretenders. In not many years, therefore, from the small beginning, great was engrossed these 3 false gods' kingdoms on every side, but wholly interior to each one's kingdom. And so that explains in part what's going on right now in Gaza and Israel. That's Gabriel and Luamon. Getting busy with each other right as we speak. And then up north, you got really a civil war with Luamon's crew up in Ukraine and Russia. From what I understand, that's his crew having a civil war. See? It says, which enabled God, Jehovah's Son, to pursue the 2 great plans for the redemption of mortals and angels. These plans were to provide protection for the Cauans, Confucians, and Chinea, the worshippers of Jehovah, that's you, brethren, and to found the country of Gautama free from the grasp of Luamong. Hallelujah! Praise the Creator, man. Praise Him. So as soon as God had provided a sufficient protecting host of angels for the Cayuans, He devoted His energies to Gautama in her heavens. So we are last in the sense that the protection that the Cayuans and Confucians are getting, I would venture to say that's happening. That's being set up for us right now. You see? All right, man. Oh, bless my soul. Thank you, Creator. That will conclude the reading of this word. I opened it up. If anyone wants to come on, man, oh my goodness, man. Thank you, Creator. Showing us the past, the present, and the future. Talked a little bit about Mexico, man, why they want to immigrate. I mean, whole armies of people from South America want to immigrate, and showing, it's the Creator is glorifying Himself and saying this was going to happen. That the faithless, basically He's saying, because America, the faithless coming here, our possessions was going to be greater than those of Luamong's possessions. And then, another thing too, man, when you look at South America, I mean, they got them crosses hanging on every tree limb in the whole country. You know what I mean? I mean, that place, it is a haven for the beast kingdom. Catholicism, mainly. It's got a stronghold there. I mean, a super stronghold. So I think that if nobody wants to come on and say a word or what we talked about, then I will dismiss the chat. I'll dismiss the class. I don't want to say class because I don't want to be looked at as a teacher. But all right, man. So shoot, I loved it. Oh, that was a great, great word, man. Even talked about immigration, talked about the Quakers. See, now we can understand a little better history. The Quakers, the Pilgrims, the Puritans, what their role was. I mean, all you remember is that they were all good. They came to bring Jesus to America, and that's about all you heard. And now here, Creator, He coming along, He's saying, this is the real story. This is the real story right here. This is the real story right here. And it's a terrible thing, man. It's a terrible thing. Another thing that we read, the account yesterday that we read, that's still in my mind, where the angel, he came to them that were in bondage. And he said, it's way more than what you got. We got way more. We got way, way more than what you got. We have way more than what you got. And you don't even want to, and you don't want to leave and check it out. And they said, basically, we can't because our minds won't let us. We believe that this is the best heaven, talking about the captives of Luamong and the other false gods. They believe their own minds won't let them leave the bondage of captivity. They have to wait until they get purged of the beast. Talking about the resurrections. There's a resurrection for the Uzians. There's a resurrection for the faithless. And both of them, first, second resurrection from Uzians, the same thing that you're doing here on this reality, you're going to do. If you're under deception now, you're going to be under deception then. It's just only whether you're going to be doing it corporately or individually. And faith is the same thing, but faithists are going to gravitate to, it's all about working together, man. Desiring to work together, work with one another It's the difference in the resurrections. They said we can't. They basically were telling the God that was trying to tell them about ascending. They basically were those in bondage and captivity to false gods, beast kingdom. They basically replied back. They were saying, like, we can't. Our minds won't let us. Our minds won't let us go to you. We're trapped. We've been going to church all our life. We've been Buddhists all our life, man. That's all that we've ever known. We've been Brahmins all our life. We've been Mohammedans all our life. Our mind won't let us go to you. Our own mind won't let us go to you. So you faked this now. See, you got something to give thanks and praise for, because this is what it means to be set free. See? Man, been a pleasure, brethren. Been a real pleasure. The reading, bless my soul. Thank you, Creator. Want to give thanks for giving me the opportunity to minister to my brethren, the word you let me share, the solution you gave me to speed up the learning. Can't thank you enough, Creator. Pray that you will bless my brethren here and that you grant us the wisdom, knowledge, and the understanding that we need in order to endure in the present reality. Brethren, no video tomorrow. I'm going to be in Bible study tomorrow. I didn't even share the link. But if you look at my previous videos, you can see the link of the for the Bible study. And so, pleasure talking, brethren. Pleasure doing the reading, fellowshipping. And until I see you again on video, peace be unto you. Shalom.